The Tarim Basin was first inhabited by North European pastoral groups moving there when the earth was warmer. From 2000 to 1000 before Christ, they lived there, being almost isolated until they started mixing with the local population and they created the new empire that created the Silk Road trade between China and the Middle Eastern and South European city-states of the day, of the moment. That's when in the year 100 before Christ, the Chinese decided to invade the Tarim because their own greed, as always, they wanted to destroy what it was succeeding, and they went there and took advantage of the topographical situation where they could split them easily into two regions. The south region was absorbed by the Chinese Han, and the north region they escaped towards the Altai mountains in the Siberian forest, where they lived for about 200 years, intermarrying with the local population and becoming a new group of people different from the first European pastoral groups. So they became what we know now as the first Huns, the Proto-Huns. They live in the Altai region, remembering their traditions, their old world, and getting ready for what it was next to come. What it was next to come was the climate change and turned everything colder, so they were forced to leave the forest into the Kazakhstan area, where they became the proper Huns with the thousands of horses, and they became the Horde, which means something united like Orden. Orden. Horde translates as Orden, which is like some sort of military strategy where you keep control of everybody, and that way you are more resilient towards other armies that just fight willy-nilly. So that's why I believe they were called the Horde, not because it was a lot, but because they attacked in strategy, and that's why they were so efficient. So after living in the Kazakhstan area, they moved one group of them, like the Vikings, their stories. They gave them the purpose of being conquerors. So they went south, conquering all the little empires that were there. One of them was the Sassanid Empire, which was like a Persian empire, and they almost destroyed it until the Sassanid kings they make a deal with them in order to stop the fighting, and then they move towards the Indian area, what is known as the Gupta Empire, which was the golden age of the Indian empires. They had universities and they were more advanced. But advanced people always succumbs to the raw force of strength, and that's what happened with the Huns. They were pure raw strength. After the Gupta Empire, they learned that they need to quench the population into submission, and the best way to do it was through religion. So they got the Brahmins, which was the higher priest class caste of the area, and make them make a meat for them. And the meat is the perfect analogy of the Hun. The Hun got their world destroyed by chaos, by the Chinese creating chaos, and their world was destroyed. So they had to become the boar. The boar. They had to become the boar, and then save the earth, Lady Earth, that was drowning in the waters, and they dipped down into the water and saved her because she grabbed one of their tusks, and they lifted her out of the water. So that was their own myth and what gave them agency to rule as a ruling caste in India. And then they were little absorbed by the Brahman caste. So we can see how the Huns were absorbed into the Brahman caste via being fierce bureaucratic rulers, and then little by intermarriage marrying. So that's the compressed history of the Huns, the White Huns. White means south because they name each cardinal point a color, and south was white. That's why that this is the story of the White Huns, how they overtook, they got their world destroyed, and they still managed to save it by becoming the boar. So this is just a normal human experience where we have to be destroyed in order to be rebuilt by pure strength of will. So stay tuned for the next delivery. The next delivery is for the great Hun, the north, the black Hun. The black means they are from the west, so they went west. The black Hun went to the west and obliterated outside Rome, and that created a domino effect for the future. And we will explore that in these next videos. All this week I'm gonna be doing this, and you will have a clearer image of your politics at the end. Stay tuned, and remember, we love you, you love us, everybody love each other. Thank you. Bye.